Good day guys, in today's video I'm going to teach you how to go from broke to baller and make millions of dollars in crypto. So if you like the sounds of that, make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. Now today I've got a bit of a slideshow prepared for you guys. Step number one is you want to recognize the opportunity that we have in crypto. Crypto is probably going to be the biggest opportunity you have to change your life and to create life-changing money. But this only occurs every 4 years, and every 4 years the cycle and returns are actually diminishing. So this opportunity isn't going to last forever. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I want to have that fancy car. I want to have a nice house. I want to have a family that I can provide for. I want my kids to go to the best school and the best colleges. And unfortunately, all of these things cost money. And with inflation and the cost of living nowadays, a 9 to 5 isn't going to be able to provide that lifestyle. So what's the alternative? Well, crypto has been the best performing asset in history, and it continues to outperform the stock market, housing market, precious metals, and has been one of the best investments over time to create life-changing wealth. Now, the wealth gap between the haves and the have-nots has been growing due to inflation and the cost of living. Now, this has been done on purpose because the banks, when they print more money, the money that you save in your bank account, it is now worth less in terms of purchasing power. So the people who own the assets like real estate, precious metals, cryptocurrency, assets that are fixed in supply, they're the ones that are making the money. Because when they just print infinite money, the money of those dollars goes down, but the value of your assets increases. This is why investing in cryptocurrency is so important, to just protect yourself from this devaluing currency which we've seen. Now, working a 9 to 5, it doesn't work anymore. 40 years ago, a 9 to 5 could get you a nice house. It could get you a decent car, and you could provide for your family. But now people are struggling more than ever, and it's been done on purpose because the wealthy, the haves, and these elites, they're trying to bring in what's called the Great Reset. And it's essentially where they have like control, where the haves have more control over the have-nots by bringing in a central bank digital currency, by getting you to eat the bugs through food rationing. I know it's ridiculous. Do the research, it's a real thing, the Great Reset, but essentially they want more control, and that's what they care about. The time frame that they're trying to introduce this by is by 2030. So you have a limited amount of time to be able to make enough money to become a have and not a have-not if you want to have a decent lifestyle. Because it's essentially a slave system that they're trying to implement, and they've been doing it slowly over a long period of time because it has to appear normal. If people become aware of what's going on, then people will riot and there'll be an uproar. But if it happens slowly over a slow enough period of time, then people don't notice. But the ones who are aware to what's going on, we can prepare ourselves and we can get the lifestyle that we've always wanted. We can have the nice car. We can have the fancy house. We can provide for our family. But to do that, we need to sacrifice now, and we need to take advantage of this life-changing opportunity. Because what's the alternative? Inflation just keeps going up. The cost of living just keeps going up. Who can afford these things anymore? So if you want to get wealthy, now is probably your biggest opportunity to create life-changing money. So step number 2, guys, is understanding bull and bear markets. So crypto follows a 4-year cycle, and we see a bull run every 4 years. But you guys have to understand that the trend doesn't last forever, and we will eventually see a bear market. It will come, and you have to be prepared for it. Now, why is this? Well, it's because early investors like myself take profits and cash out, which causes these bear markets. Now, I'm going to show you some charts for a second. So here we've got the Bitcoin price chart. Now, these yellow lines here, these represent our Bitcoin halvings, and these red lines represent the bottom of the market. So you can see every 4 years, we've got our Bitcoin halving event. And what typically happens at this event? Well, we normally get a little bit of sideways chop, but then we get a massive increase in price to the upside. And what always comes after that massive increase is we have our bear market, and the same cycle's been repeating itself every 4 years. So we've got our accumulation phase here, our bull run, and then our bear market, and the same thing is happening once again. And right now we're just about to take off into our next bull market. Now you have to understand, you might look at this and you might not think this is a big move, but people who invested in altcoins when the markets took off became millionaires in these cycles, and the exact same thing is going to repeat once again, and the charts are showing us the exact same story. Now, when we actually zoom in and take a look at our current cycle, we can actually see a very clear Elliott wave structure. So we've got our wave 1, our wave 2 correction, followed by a wave 3, and then we're currently experiencing our wave 4 correction, gearing up for our 5th wave, which is going to put us in discovery, and I'm expecting to bring us to around that $150,000 level. And after we top out eventually, we're going to go into our bear market, and this is where we're going to get our A, B, C correction back down. Now, what you want to do is you want to take profits in this zone before that bear market comes, because it will eventually come. Why? Because the people who were accumulating down here, the ones who were accumulating here, 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 we're going to be cashing out and taking profits by the time we get up here. And that's why it pays to be early. Taking a look at Chainlink, we've only actually seen a wave 1 and currently now wave 2 correction. So we still have 3 more Elliott waves to go. So I'm expecting this wave 3 to take us close to the all-time highs. We'll get our wave 4 correction back down, and then that wave 5 is when your altcoins are really going to take off, which is going to put us into price discovery towards that 100k level. And this is what I'm looking at for these altcoins. Whereas for Bitcoin, we had already finished our wave 3 and we were currently in our wave 4 correction. So you can see by this, but altcoins are actually lagging much further behind. And I believe it's at the point where Bitcoin breaks out is when our altcoins are going to take off, and that Bitcoin dominance is going to reverse, and we're going to get those next 2 waves up for all of our altcoins. Now, step number 3, guys, is to take action and don't let fear stop you. This is probably one of the biggest opportunities that you'll ever have in your lifetime. And you have to understand that the actions you take today will impact how successful you are in the future. So the best time to buy was 12 months ago. The second best time to buy is today. And especially because we are in this wave 4 correction, you're actually going to be able to buy these altcoins at massive discounts. So you're getting a massive opportunity to be able to buy altcoins at cheap prices that we haven't seen for multiple months. So you don't want to be complacent or you'll never achieve anything. Now, I know the journey could look scary. It could look like this mountain here. And most of you are starting down here. But everyone starts somewhere. I started down here as well. And I built up my crypto knowledge. And now I would say that I'm somewhere near the top of that mountain. And you guys can do the same as well, but you have to take action and not let fear stop you from an opportunity that could change your life financially. Because where do you guys want to be 5-10 years from now? Do you just want to be working that same 9-to-5 job, or do you want to have achieved financial freedom and to be able to have the freedom to go do whatever you want to chase your goals? Or do you want to be stuck working a job you hate? Because I know which one I want. So guys, step number 4, we've got to figure out which cryptos to buy. So there's thousands of different cryptocurrencies to choose from. Now, most of the cryptos in the top 100 to 200, they're going to perform well. You could almost invest in any high cap crypto and you're going to make money. But the trick is picking the cryptos that are going to outperform the rest of the market. Now, what I like to look for is I like to look for cryptos that have utility, big communities, and also good tokenomics as well. And the lower the market cap, you have to understand the more potential upside you have, but you also have more risk as well. So just taking a look on CoinMarketCap, investing in like Bitcoin, for example, its market cap's over $1 trillion. So we need to see another trillion of inflows in order for Bitcoin to double in price. Now, I think that's going to happen, but that's only a 2x, for example. So for Bitcoin to do a 10x, it would need over $10 trillion injected in it. Whereas when you come down and you look at some of these smaller coins that have much smaller market caps, you need way less money to flow into these coins in order for them to increase in value. You have to understand the lower you go down this list, the more risk you're taking. Now for me, I know I've been studying crypto for years, so I know exactly which coins have the best risk to reward right now. And if you want to know my top 10 picks that I believe will make you the most money, then you can purchase my top 10 coins for 2024. These are the coins that I believe are going to be the most profitable and make you the most money this bull run. Step number 5, guys, is to increase your cash flow. So this here is me. This is me working at my sales job, selling gym memberships. Now, while I was working here, I was also working another job, doing night fill on top of that. And on top of those things, I've also been doing my side hustle, which is coaching people how to trade and invest in markets. So I've got all of these income streams that I'm using to invest. I don't have one single income stream because I'm trying to increase my cash flow, because you're not going to be able to buy and accumulate these coins if you don't have money coming in. So this might mean getting a side hustle, working some extra hours at work, doing whatever you can to increase your income so that you can start investing that income into these cryptos. Because if you want to become a baller, these are the steps that you have to take. And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of you might be paying rent and your expenses might be quite high. So you need to increase that income so that you have money that you can start funneling into these investments to really to start to make some big money in crypto. Now guys, step number 6 is to have a balanced portfolio. So the majority of your portfolio should be in safe blue chip cryptos that are inside the top 100. But you also want to diversify your portfolio and you want to pick cryptos from different narratives. AI has been one of the hottest narratives, and I'm expecting it to continue to be one of the best performers going into the next 6 to 12 months, as well as the tokenization of real world assets. They're probably the 2 hottest narratives in crypto at the moment, but you also want to diversify into some layer 1s, some layer 2s, maybe some payment plays as well, and just have coins from all of these different narratives, maybe gaming as well, because we don't know which one's going to take off. So you want to have exposure to these different narratives so that if gaming takes off, for example, and gaming happens to be the best performing coins of this bull run, you've got exposure to those picks. Because imagine having a portfolio with no gaming coins and watching the whole gaming sector explode and you're not taking advantage of any of those gains. That would be so depressing. So that's why we want to pick coins from different niches. You also want to make sure that you don't spread yourself too thin. Because imagine having a coin that does 100x. You only put $100 in that coin. Well, you haven't made that much money because you didn't have enough money in that coin to begin with. I recommend at least having $1,000 in each coin in your portfolio minimum, and this is why I recommend my students to at least start off with a $10,000 portfolio. That should be your goal. Now, you might not have that money to invest right now, but your goal should be able to get up to that $10,000 mark. And you do this by increasing your income and cash flow in the step I talked about before. Now, what I would do with my portfolio is I would have 70% in high caps. Now, these are going to be your safe cryptos that are guaranteed to get you money and are probably going to get you a 10 to a 15x, depending on which coins you go with. Then I would go 20% in your mid caps. These coins are probably looking at a 20 to 50x return potentially. And then with that last little chunk of your portfolio, I'll diversify into some small cap picks. These are your meme coins and your coins with really low market caps that have the potential to 100, 200x. If you have a couple of these coins pop off, it could make a massive difference to your portfolio, but you want to make sure the majority of your money is in these safe picks, because we're about making money here. We're not about gambling. And getting in a lot of these small caps, it is a big gamble, but that's why the returns are so massive. Now guys, step number 7, we've got have a profit taking strategy. So you want to take profits and you don't want to get attached to your coins. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I remember last cycle up here, I was in massive profit, but I never cashed out. I never took any profit. And when the bear market happened, I went from being up massively to down around $50,000. Now, if I'd taken profits up here and I had reinvested at the bottom, I would probably be almost a multi-millionaire today, or I would be a multi-millionaire today. And that's why I'm going to make sure that I don't make that same mistake again. So you want to have a profit taking strategy, because this was almost at 80% retracement, which is absolutely massive. Imagine losing 80% of your net worth. So this is why it's important not to be greedy and to take profits early and know exactly when you want to get out. Now, the strategy I'm going to be doing is dollar cost averaging out of the market. So this means that as you're going up, so you might take 20% here, another 20% here, 20%, 20%, because you don't know when the top is going to be. Now, there are some indicators which you can look at that can give you a pretty good idea, and they've been very reliable in the past, but they're not always 100%, which is why it's important to have a strategy. Now, for me, I am going to be keeping a 5 to 10% moon bag for the long term in case the markets go higher than everybody's expecting and we do end up getting that super cycle. I'll still have that exposure to the market to be able to cash out and make bank on that. This here is the pi cycle indicator. Now, this is something I'm going to be paying very close attention to because it's actually called the tops and bottoms of all of our market cycles. So you can see this red box here. So every time we've actually gotten into this red box, it's actually called the high of our market cycle, as you can see. And it even called the top of our last one. Now, what we can see is we can see the level that we're at currently. So right now we're at a very similar level to where we were in this period right here. So in comparison, I would say in our current cycle, we're equivalent to like this zone in here. So we still have all of this left to run up. And this is where I'm expecting Bitcoin to run and to put in that wave 5 to around 150k. So I'm going to be paying a very close eye on this indicator, because when we do get that leg up and it gets into this red box here, this is when I'm going to be looking to cash out heavy profits in the market. Now, another thing we can also look at is the long-term holders for Bitcoin. So as we can see at each of the tops of our market cycles, we had a massive sell-off in our long-term holders, and this has happened at every single top of our market cycle. Now, right now we have had a bit of a sell-off, but this sell-off is nowhere near as steep as our previous cycle highs. And having a look at some of our previous cycles, we can actually see a very small sell-off here and a very small sell-off here as well. And that's where I believe we are in the cycle. I believe it's very similar to this one here, where we're in this period where we're getting this little sell-off here before we go for that next run high in the market. And that's what I believe is happening, where we are going to get that next final run into the market that's going to make us a shit ton of money. That's pretty much all I've got for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to purchase my top 10 picks for 2024, either message me on Instagram or Twitter and I'll get that one to you guys. But besides that, I'll see you guys next time.